मैम यहाँ देखिए,
मैम यहाँ पे
वन मोर सेंटर वापस.
ये मैम यहाँ पे
पूजा जी एक सोलो दीजिए ना.
ये मैम एक सोलो
सामने देखिए, सामने.
बोतल पे लुकियो
मैम सेंटर वापस. मैम आइए इधर से.
That's so sweet. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, most of you over here would be knowing me. I am Kiran Srivastava. I'm an entrepreneur. I specialize into marketing, and I run an NGO called Fempowerment Foundation, which works on women empowerment for their economic independence. So that's me, and I'm going to host this evening with these amazing ladies out here, with you amazing women over here. Thank you.
Seen Danny with another woman, Alia had found it funny at first, but she had eventually started believing the ugly story, or at least that's what Danny had thought. She had shouted at him and called him a cheat, even when he had tried telling her that the woman had been a co-worker, nothing more. Alia had refused to listen to him, and the reason for it was that she had already decided to end the relationship. Monica's story had merely presented her the excuse.
So it took me a long time to realize that it's me, myself, who's caged myself into rooms, into spaces, into cages. And as they say, slavery comes in very attractive packages. You know? So I found myself in a situation in my life where I was in a marriage that was crumbling. It was not crumbling because of anything as painful as this situation that you just read out. It was rather boring. Neither of us cheated. Neither of us were interested in cheating. But I think that as a woman, I realized that I'd lost myself in the process while ticking the box that society places right up there with all your achievements. No matter what you do and what you achieve, the question that is always asked is, so when are you getting married? And when you are married, how many children? When you're having a child? And if you end your marriage, when are you getting married again? So if you say I'm not interested in that narrative, and I'm happy to kind of rewrite the end as and she lived happily ever after, you get very suspicious looks from people. But I was in a situation, a marriage was crumbling, and it took me a long time to come to terms with the fact that I was indeed trapped in a marriage that was not working for me. I lost my femininity. I forgot who I was. A perfectly wonderful man. No bad blood in that sense, but there was a despair and a loneliness that was there in my soul. And I think a lot of women can identify with that. When you wake up and everything is okay on the outside, but there's this hole in your heart that a man or a work or nothing can fill. And I had two choices in front of me. That one was, okay, I was already 10 years married. Is that to continue that lie and then look at somebody and blame them for my unhappiness of my life, or do something about it and take the chance of walking on my own 2 feet, however shaky. So I did that. And then I used alcohol as a band-aid. So I was trapped and I was chained first into being a good wife and then getting my gratification from a bottle, until I finally asked myself that what is the difference between a relationship, a man, or a bottle? You're using both to numb the pain. So do away with the crutches and learn to deal with yourself and realize that you're not as special as you would like to believe that you are. deal with the anguish, deal with the emptiness, deal with the ordinariness of your soul, and from that something magical will emerge, and something did. So I think the day I told myself that, okay, life is not a dress rehearsal. I'm not going to kind of end up being somebody who's going to use somebody else as a convenience and, a habit. I'm going to try life on my own. I might never meet that person. I might meet this person, and I met this person. And I kicked the bottle hard. It's been 7 years that I've been sober. It's my greatest achievement. I think work is my hobby, and my real work is my sobriety. And yeah, so I was chained to that, but like I said, the bolt was on the inside. I locked myself into that room. All I had to do was unlock and walk out. Nobody kept me in there. I can't take credit for that. It is my nature. I can't. When I speak up for a woman, I speak up for myself. When I speak up for a cause, I speak up for myself. I'm no saint here. But I think that, it's something that I've inherited from my father, and it's something that, thank God, my sister Alia has not, because that's the reason she's so successful. Because she knows exactly what to share and what not to share, what to put out there and what to not put out there. But I think that I've learned that it's only when you're authentic and you are speaking from your heart does it get communicated. Now, when I look back at my life, I'm 51 now. I'm enjoying what they call the 4th season of fame. In our business, they say that, there are 4 seasons of any artist. First, they say, oh, she has potential, or he has potential. Then they say, oh, she's arrived. Then they say she's over, and then they say she's back. So I'd given up acting for 21 years, and I came back with a show called Bombay Begums again, where Alankrita Srivastava and Bornila Chatterjee wanted to cast me because of the life I'd led. They were like, you've been away from the front of the camera for the last 21 years, and it's what you stand for and what resonates in your heart that's what we want to cast. So I think there's no alternate for a lived life, especially for an artist. An artist cannot be a prisoner, not to themselves, not to a reputation. I think that with enough courage you can do without a reputation. And we have that liberty as artists, and we should take that more. So I just feel that the world has been quite fair. The media has been quite fair. The ones who somewhere in their hearts do understand, but their agenda is not to. You can't change their mind no matter what you do. But I think what's always moved me is when I've traveled through India and I've met women from diverse backgrounds who might not have remembered the films I've done, but they've remembered an interview of mine, or what I've said, or when I've spoken up for something that the rest of my industry or my brethren did not at that point, because I guess they had more to lose than I did. I think that resonates and it reaches people, because eventually what you are gets communicated, not what you say you are. And I think that it's too tiring to play this game of, trying to pretend to be somebody that I'm not, and then, try to get you to like me for what I'm not, and then I go home, and that burden, I can't be bothered.